If you listen to music digitally at all, you're probably on one of the big few music streaming services that exist. Spotify, Apple Music, Tidal, YouTube Music, whatever. It's very rare that we see new competitors into the streaming scene that actually have a slight chance of surviving, which almost makes the launch of TikTok Music like a historical event. It's almost refreshing finally getting to see some innovation and competition in the music streaming scene. But I'm not sure if it's going to work, especially in its current state. First, I want to quickly talk about how TikTok is advertising TikTok Music, because these ads are just weird. The first one I saw, which to be fair did get me to download the app, has a stock video of a guy just like listening to music, some really low quality royalty-free music in the background, and some basic screen recordings. In a vacuum, it's not bad, but when you're up against Spotify, Apple, Tidal, Amazon in the music streaming space, you've got to do a tad bit better than that. Then I saw an ad that featured Alan Walker letting us know that his new single is available on TikTok Music. This ad was, again, fine, but it wasn't outstanding. And they seriously cannot seem to get their audio quality right in these ads. It sounds like they've just gone into Premiere and absolutely cranked the gain on Walker's voice. I also think it would have made a bit more sense to have an artist on that actually got featured a lot or went viral on TikTok. Someone like Young Gravy or... That's all I know. I am seriously out of touch with the TikTok music trends. Launching TikTok Music for the first time will bring up a warning that states that yes, this is clearly a beta product, which is also my reminder to remind you that TikTok Music is a beta product and it will get better as it develops more. It'll prompt you to log into your TikTok account, which I don't think is necessary, but they really are pushing that integration with TikTok and TikTok Music. After you do that, it's fairly standard to your average music app. It'll ask you what artist you like, in which case I immediately show off how much of a red flag I am, and it'll ask you what subscription you want. After you select a subscription, or you don't have to get into the app, you actually do get to use it. And I've got a fair bit to say on the UI and UX of TikTok Music, because it's interesting. But first, the pricing. TikTok Music is priced very reasonably, especially compared to Spotify and Apple Music. Currently, during the beta, you'll be able to get a free 3-month trial, and after that, pay $8.99 a month for the individual plan, which is already very cheap compared to Apple Music and Spotify. However, after the discount ends, you'll be paying a fairly standard $11.99 a month for that same individual plan. Family and student plans are also available, with the family plan allowing up to 6 users on one account for $18.99, or the student plan giving you a discounted rate of $5.99 a month. If you don't want to pay, you can still use TikTok Music just for basic music discovery, which could make it a great complement to your standard streaming app. Now, the TikTok Music user interface is okay. The main search and the playlist pages are pretty good. They're fine. They're just fine. Very similar to Spotify. But the now playing screen just kind of feels off. It's essentially ripping TikTok and just making it display music instead of videos. The main home screen of TikTok Music is again basically just TikTok, but showing you songs you might like instead of videos. If you enjoy the song it's given you, you can keep listening and just hit that like button to add it to your favorites, or you can swipe to the next track. The interface is pretty decent for the homepage. I actually really like it for discovering music, but it just kind of feels off in the now playing screen. Now on that now playing screen, absolutely everything that's available is front and center, unlike most apps which will hide extra features like lyrics behind an extra button or a scroll. I personally really don't like this, but I can see why people would enjoy it. The social aspect of TikTok Music is also right there, which I personally hate. I don't see a reason for a social aspect in your music streaming app. I've never found myself wondering how many people have liked a song I'm listening to or how many people are commenting on it.
Okay, so just to be clear, I can see why you would want a social app or some social aspect to your music listening, but I don't understand the concept of having it right within the music app. I think they should be very separate.
But it is probably something that people want, and I don't think TikTok Music is trying to capture an audience like me of people who just want a music app. My camera's about to die. So none of my camera batteries have any charge whatsoever, so I'm just kind of hoping that this works well enough. Now on desktop, the situation is a bit better. I was honestly surprised that there was a native desktop app instead of just them using the web player. The main homepage on TikTok Music Desktop is honestly really good, and I wish they would have taken that inspiration for the iOS and Android versions. They've clearly got a laser focus for discovery on mobile and a focus for listening on desktop, which is an interesting strat. Currently, the desktop app is a bit dodgy. I didn't know that steaming quality was a thing in music until TikTok Music, and there isn't an Apple Silicon native version for whatever reason, which leads to a very long load time if you haven't used a Rosetta app since your last restart. Even after it's been initialized, Apple Music and Spotify load significantly faster. An Apple Watch app is also available, and it's pretty good. It does the job it needs to do, and does it really well, in some cases being more responsive and snappier than Apple's own music app. TikTok Music has all the features you'd expect from a standard music app. It's got downloads, synced lyrics, which YouTube Music still doesn't have, and it does play music. An interesting thing about TikTok Music is that the lyrics are not human written, and they rely on the same machine learning tools they use to generate video captions on TikTok to generate timed lyrics on TikTok Music. This is pretty cool because it means that theoretically every single song on the platform will have timed lyrics, and they could, hypothetically, easily add word-by-word karaoke lyrics in the future. But it also does mean that some lyrics will have the side effect of being incorrectly written or just otherwise off. And doing it this way seems to make TikTok Music the only app to censor written lyrics. I'm not sure why they didn't just partner with Music Match like Spotify and other platforms have. TikTok also has a very Shazam-esque feature called Song Catch, which just lets you search for music playing around you. You can also find music from other apps running on your phone, but this just prompts you to unplug your headphones and play whatever you're listening to through the speakers, and letting TikTok Music run in the background, which you could just do with the Shazam button in the control center. TikTok Music also has a button to move your library straight from Spotify into TikTok Music, which is insanely useful for getting users onto your platform. But it does just redirect you to the Tune My Music website. That's fine, but I would have loved to see something natively in the app. They also do some weird stuff with the lyrics. They seem to have an obsession with keeping the lyrics on screen visible to you at all times. On iOS, the section where the artist usually goes is replaced by the current lyric in the song, with the artist being moved into the title for some reason. And on macOS, they just put the current line in the menu bar, which is really helpful on the notched MacBooks that one I have over there, where it just pushes every other menu bar icon to the side, where it's invisible. But hey, at least you've got your lyrics. Both of these are absolutely awful, and this feature shouldn't exist. I'm really happy it can be toggled off. Now, TikTok Music doesn't specifically mention what kind of audio quality they have in audio file terms, instead resorting to a good, better, best type scale. However, downloading one song from TikTok Music in excellent quality and downloading the same song from Apple Music in their high quality 256 kilobit whatever, both give a file around 6 to 7 megabytes. Assuming that there's some extra headroom from DRM, we can assume that TikTok Music's excellent quality is the same as Apple Music's 256 kilobit, 44.1 kilohertz files. This probably isn't an issue. I know Apple Music has lossless, so does Amazon, Tidal, and Spotify might at some point, but TikTok is definitely not targeting the audiophile audience here. In side-by-side tests on the same song, I personally noticed that Apple Music seems to have a wider soundstage even in songs without Dolby Atmos, and just tended to sound kind of crisper compared to TikTok Music. However, again, I'm not an audiophile, and audio is highly subjective. What I don't like, you might love. I was also just slamming it through AirPods, so you might notice a difference on a pair of Sennheiser HD whatevers. So, I mentioned in the title that there is one fatal flaw with TikTok Music, and here it is. Content is the biggest driving factor for getting users on basically any app, but especially music apps. You could have the best music app, literally flawless, no bugs, fast, so many features. It won't matter if the music your audience wants to listen to isn't on the app. So, is TikTok Music's catalog good? No, absolutely not. Major artists, albums, and songs are just straight up missing. Some albums, like Doo-Wops and Hooligans from Bruno Mars, and the entirety of the Metro Boomin Across the Spider-Verse soundtrack, both appear in the app but have no songs available. Some albums, like 21 Savage's Savage Mode 2 and Kyle's Light of Mine, just have some songs just kind of missing, and some songs like Kendrick Lamar's Humble and Kanye West's Famous appear in the app but don't allow you to play them, instead giving you a warning that hey, it'll be streaming soon, and sometimes attempting to just suggest anything with the same title. In the case of some artists, like Rex Orange County, you'll find their entire discography is just straight up missing. Really cool. Realistically, this will be the factor that stops most people from moving to TikTok Music, or choosing it as their streaming platform in the first place. And it's something that seriously needs to be fixed, or at least made just so much better, before it moves out of beta and launches in especially the North American market, where I'm assuming it'll be pretty big. If it's big at all. Hey, I don't know, it could be big in another region. I'm not the marketing heads at TikTok. Speaking of regional availability, TikTok Music, as of uploading, is currently only available in beta in Brazil, Indonesia, Mexico, Singapore, and Australia. As far as I can tell, there aren't any indicators as to when TikTok Music will be launching in other regions. Currently, I cannot recommend paying for TikTok Music. However, using it as a complement to your current music app could be a cool use case. TikTok Music takes your algorithm straight from TikTok and uses it just for music, so it could give you some really good personalizations without the other videos in between. You could absolutely just use TikTok Music for music discovery and just listen to everything else on a much bigger, more established platform. However, as TikTok expands to other regions and starts getting their content library sorted, I can see it being a reasonable option. Right now though, I wouldn't suggest deleting Spotify. Hope you guys enjoyed that. You can find links to download TikTok Music for iOS, Android, and desktop in the description, along with all of my social platforms. Quick announcement, by the way, I've recently launched a new program called Design by Hades. Design by Hades is a project that lets me express my creativity in UI and UX by creating feature concepts every couple of weeks or so. You can follow @DesignByHades on Instagram, Threads, Twitter, and @designbyhades.bsky.social on Blue Sky. If you like this video, hit that button. If you really liked it, maybe consider subscribing. If you want to watch more, you might want to check out this video that I did on a Bluetooth RGB water bottle that you can buy right now, and whether you even should. One day I will figure out how to position a lav mic properly. Today is not that day.